Okay.
Oh hey guys, gals, and other pals. Have you ever wanted to drive without driving? Have you ever wanted to play sports without actually playing sports? Well, the Wii is not the immersive device you need. However, it used to be the immersive machine that did revolutionary things with semi-immersive motion controls. Now, I'm not going to waste too much time talking about the lead-up to the release of the system, and we'll try to get through it as quick as I can. Prior to release, the Wii had the codename Revolution, and the main goal the developers had in mind for it was accessibility. It was to make a console for everyone that absolutely anyone could get into and have some fun on. Casual gamers, hardcore gamers, senior citizens, and of course your weird Uncle Rick. This console was for everyone, which is why they changed the name to something, interesting before release. Another interesting thing about the lead-up and development of the Wii is one particular game that launched with the system, and that is The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. This launch title was originally designed for the GameCube, and did eventually release for the GameCube, but the release was also lining right up with the release of the Wii, so they decided to quickly slap it onto the new system to give it a better launch lineup. Completely unrelated, this is the worst version of Twilight Princess. It's not bad, it was just noticeably slapped onto the new system very quickly with minimal effort put in to make proper adjustments. Anyway, after renaming the Revolution to the Wii and preparing their lineup for the console, it released on November 19th, 2006 in North America, with one of the two major launch titles for the system being bundled in with it. The game, as we all know, is Wii Sports. Alright, enough jibber-jabber about the lead-up and launch. Time to talk about the important stuff. Like how Nintendo kidnapped my cat. Oh wait, this video is about Nintendo being cool. Never mind, forget I said anything. I don't have a cat, what are you talking about? Lord praise my favorite multi-billion-dollar company, Nintendo. It's time to talk seriously about the Wii. The Wii was, and still is, one of the most popular video game consoles, not just for Nintendo, but in general, and that's because of how fun Nintendo made this system. Games like Wii Sports, Mario Kart Wii, and so on, while being so simple, were so fun, and to be clear, that wasn't just because of the use of motion controls. While this console is so popular and highly regarded by many, most of those people like it due to nostalgia, and others see it as one of Nintendo's weaker consoles, and as overrated. And I'm here to say that I don't think it's overrated, and that the Wii did have a lot to offer. Starting off with the good stuff that makes me feel like I'm about to come. Motion controls! Yes, it is a gimmick. However, it's a fun gimmick that's generally well utilized by first parties, and is part of the reason it got so many people together and why it sold so well. Let's just take a look at Wii Sports. The other reason the Wii got so many people together and sold so well. Wii Sports, while being a tech demo for the Wii's motion controls, was still a very fun game with a fair amount of content to keep anyone entertained, and be a fun experience for everyone. People didn't just buy the Wii because it came with Wii Sports, people also bought it for Wii Sports, and those two things in tandem made this a really amazing and fun deal at the time. While the motion controls aren't that deep, and take simple motions to make a movement in the game, wow. It's like I'm really playing tennis. It was still really fun and ingenious, and for the most part was really smooth, and did show the capabilities and potential utilizations for the Wii Remote in other games. Now, were the motion controls perfect? No, and in fact, they were so imprecise that Nintendo decided to update the Wii Remotes, but I'll talk about that later. Oh, hey fans of geometry. What's your favorite shape? Actually, don't answer. I don't care, because mine is the only one that matters, and it is the cube. And what's my favorite cube, you might ask? Well, this is the only one that can play Luigi's Spooky House, but it can't play Chris Pratt in Space 2. I mean, Mario Galaxy 2. So, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's okay. It's okay. I forgive you. Yes, I'm mentally well and stable. Why would you even ask me that? Time to talk about features. And I'll start with the ones that pose the strongest argument for this console not being overrated and being totally awesome. Full, mostly, backwards compatibility with the GameCube, which is considered one of Nintendo's better consoles because of its first-party lineup, and you can play those games on the Wii. I think it's over. I think I already proved my entire point. The Wii already won. But what the heck, I'll keep going. All you need to play GameCube games is a GameCube controller, memory card, and a game. So not only do you have access to the Wii's great library of games, which I'll talk about later, but you also have access to the GameCube's nice extensive library of games. So in total, you get access to a crap load of amazing first-party games that could keep you entertained for a lifetime. That's a damn good deal! And another thing, which doesn't actually apply today, unless you jailbreak your console, I think, is the Virtual Console. What is the Virtual Console? Well, the Virtual Console was pretty much a page on the Wii Shop channel that lets you buy and play old Nintendo games from systems like the Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo 64, and even old games from other systems like the Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, also the TurboGrafx-16, and I think the Neo Geo as well as some others. So you actually had access to a fucking metric ton of games in an incredibly extensive library of games. This thing did not have to do all that, but it did, and it fucking rocks. The Wii Shop channel is closed. I think you can technically access the Virtual Console's games and the Wii Shop channel as a whole through jailbreaking or some other means. So, while it is gone, it's not really gone. And even so, just having that only at the time the Wii was still active still solidifies how stellar of a console this was at the time. Now, time to talk about the Wii channels and the features of the Wii menu as a whole. But I will try to run through it pretty quickly. The Mii channel. You could create the most iconic avatars in the most iconic avatar creating application that you could then see in games like Wii Sports, Mario Kart Wii, and the other games with the Wii branding and title. Wii Shop channel, Virtual Console, and you could buy WiiWare games, which were mostly all shovelware titles, but there were some decent WiiWare titles that you could get. Photo channel, you could upload and edit photos that you could view on your TV, which was pretty cool. Never got to use it. Everybody Votes channel, very simple. You could vote in different opinion polls. I don't have a lot to say about this one, to be honest. Never got to use it. Check Me Out channel, you could upload and share your Miis with people around the world and could participate in popularity contests for Miis. Another channel I never got to use when I had the Wii. And of course, the internet forecast and news channels are all self-explanatory, and those were really the only channels I wanted to cover. However, there were other channels and third-party channels as well. For example, Netflix. You could access a more extensive list of settings compared to the GameCube, move data around, and even had mail, which mostly boiled down to letters that just showed you your playtime, but still, you got all of those cool channels, all of those cool features packed in with your Wii. Again, the Wii has already won, but I digress.
Did you guys know I like video games? I know, a crazy revelation. On a serious note, though, it probably is time to talk about the video games for this video game console. Or I could count the number of dollars in my bank account. Never mind, let's talk about games.
Want to go drunk driving? Don't! Just don't do that! Instead, go drunk Mario Karting. It's totally not the same thing, but at least your body won't get completely contorted around a tree. And your friends can finally beat you in something other than Mario Party. Mario Kart Wii, the poster child for the coolest piece of plastic, is one hell of a Mario Kart. After Mario Kart DS, Nintendo continued the 16 new tracks and 16 old tracks formula they introduced in that game. But they also removed the missions, which is a shame,
but they added a lot of new characters to race as, and many different kart options to choose from, as well as bikes being new. Also having the most amount of battle tracks in any other Mario Kart, in one of the most mediocre iterations of battle mode. Great job, Nintendo. The stars of the show for this game are all the new tracks, the new tricking system, the new handling model, all the new and returning characters, and the versus mode to race on whatever tracks you want. Mario Kart Wii is a very good Mario Kart, and as such is what the Wii really needed, and it pushed the Wii sales, I think, and became one of the best-selling Mario Karts of all time, and one of the best-selling games in general of all time. And the Wii wheel is pretty cool, and for some like myself can be the most fun way to play the game. Sure, it's just the Wii remote slapped into some plastic, but the feel and the motion controls can be pretty fun, albeit not nearly as good as Wii Sports. I mean, it's required in that game, and it's certainly not necessary to have fun controlling in Mario Kart Wii. Just like every Nintendo system needs a Mario Kart, every Nintendo system also needs a Super Smash Bros. And Super Smash Bros. Brawl does have Super Smash Bros. In its title. People fucking hate this game. Smash fans heavily dislike how slow Brawl is, as well as the random occurrence of tripping. Why is tripping a thing in this game? Well, because Nintendo wanted to make it more immersive, obviously. Yeah, I think they were high when they made this game. Besides those atrocious downsides, though, Smash Bros. Brawl actually had quite a lot to offer. It had a great roster of characters, with this being the first Smash Bros. To have non-Nintendo characters. It had other characters introduced as assist trophies, which were new items. It introduced special smashes. It also had a pretty long and in-depth adventure mode called the Subspace Emissary. And it had very short playable demos of older Nintendo games, which is, something, I guess. This really is a solid game that just gets a bad rap. Does the fighting feel great? No, but it doesn't feel that bad, and the tripping is strange, but it certainly doesn't make the game unplayable by any means. Overall, good content, but just bad mechanics, I'd guess you'd say. Smash Brawl didn't feel like as much of an essential title for the system as other Smash games have, but at least we got Chris Pratt in space. Sorry, I meant Super Mario Galaxy. I need to write funnier jokes, this shit isn't making anyone laugh. I don't have Super Mario Galaxy for the Wii, but I do have it on the Switch. This might be the worst version. Super Mario Galaxy is a genre-defining, system-selling, and absolute monster, heavy-hitting title for the Wii. It's naturally not even close to my favorite 3D Mario game. What makes Super Mario Galaxy so good is the amazing level design and platforming, the themes and tone the game has, and of course, the quirky-ass power-ups. Why is Mario a fucking bee? Super Mario Galaxy went for a higher quantity of areas over previous 3D Mario games, because they weren't trying to build more open areas like before. So they were able to make so many different galaxies that had both great linear level design and great theming. Trading for a more linear approach doesn't feel like a downgrade in this game because all of the levels and galaxies feel so fun and unique. And while this is a Mario game, so it's not story heavy, it does feel like there's stuff at stake, like the story has an impact, it's just an impact you'd expect from a Mario story. That does contribute to the tone of this game, and does make it feel more immersive, and it does introduce possibly the best Mario character, Rosalina. In terms of motion controls, it's not heavy or super immersive, but it's solid. Shake the Wii remote to do the spin move, and use the pointer to collect star bits. Not bad. Now, this game was so good and so awesome that it got a sequel that is one of my favorite 3D Mario games. Galaxy 2, more linear, more power-ups, more crazy level design, moving on. Wii Play. I only mention it because it's kind of the other big tech demo game like Wii Sports that you bought separately, but came with a Wii remote, so it was worth it anyway. Wii Play shows off the pointer controls of the Wii remote, and while it's not that crazy of a game, it's still pretty fun. The laser hockey game, billiards, shooting game, and of course, the tank game.
make this a pretty fun package to play from time to time, especially with a friend or two. And the other games aren't bad. I really just wanted to talk about it for the reasons stated earlier. It's the other tech demo game. So to top it off, there are quite a few other really good first-party games for the Wii, but those are the big ones that I wanted to talk about. In conclusion, the Wii had a pretty good first-party lineup. There were quite a few alright games, but the good games were really good games. So they kind of make up for all those alright games. Wii's first-party lineup, good.
Now, just like Cleanway Incorporated likes to falsely advertise the cleaning capabilities of their soaps and other products, yeah, that's right, screw you, Cleanway, Nintendo falsely advertised the capabilities of the motion controls of the Wii Remote. A problem that they didn't actually have to fix, but chose to anyway.
I'm getting tired. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten that entire thing of melatonin gummies. I might need to call 911. But maybe not. Maybe I can talk about Wii Motion Plus, the accessory and standalone controller lineup. So, Nintendo decided to release an accessory that added a gyro to the Wii Remote for enhanced motion controls, and they launched it alongside Wii Sports Resort, because yes, Wii Sports was so good it deserved a sequel, and Wii Sports Resort wasn't exactly a tech demo for Wii Motion Plus. Like, it kind of was, but it was also a full game with a full game's worth of content. Whether they made this game to show off Wii Motion Plus or vice versa, this game is a fun, full game with, you guessed it, more precise motion controls. Now, Wii Motion Plus wasn't just good for Wii Sports Resort, it was also required for the Zelda game made specifically for the Wii, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I still haven't beaten this one. I know, how can I call myself a Zelda fan when I haven't beaten one of the major 3D Zelda games? To be honest, I just forget about it. Not because it's bad, but because it's not on one of my newer, more played systems. Now, Skyward Sword is a very fun Zelda, with some of the best dungeons in the entire series, and a more linear structure than even the earliest 3D Zeldas. The biggest issue with Skyward Sword, though, probably, is the motion controls, because despite the use of the more advanced and more precise motion controls, it can still be finicky and annoying to control. Yeah, Wii Motion Plus is starting to feel not that special or good, but hey, at least you can get a gold Zelda Wii Remote with Wii Motion Plus built in. Wii Remotes with Wii Motion Plus built in. That's it. That's all I really have to say. It's pretty straightforward. There's other games that support and even require Wii Motion Plus, but not any that you'd probably want. This is where things really start to fall apart for the Wii, and my argument, because Nintendo, despite proudly showing off Wii Motion Plus and how it makes games even more immersive with the motion controls, they barely fucking used it! And that really is the biggest counter-argument to the Wii being a very good, not overrated console. The gimmick.
Alright friends, time to prepare yourselves, because I'm about to do something no other human being has done. Criticize a multi-billion-dollar company's product.
Alright, let's get serious. Nothing and no one is perfect. Certainly not the Wii. I'll start with the controller itself. What is this? While it's comfortable to hold vertically, I can't say the same about holding it horizontally. And don't even get me started on the lack of buttons. This controller, even with the nunchuck attachment that adds a joystick and 2 buttons, is very lacking on the number of inputs. No second joystick, not a lot of extra buttons to use for many different actions, and, you know, that other standard controllers have. And the motion controls don't even add that much to the number of inputs this controller has. It's very lacking. It's so bad that I forgot to mention that in order to play many virtual console games with lots of inputs, you need a different controller. They made the classic controller, so you can play virtual console games, which is just a major inconvenience that you even need an extra accessory to begin with. But that's not the worst this console has to offer. The main gimmick of the console, that being the motion controls, isn't that often utilized or that well utilized. It's especially not utilized well by third parties, and even Nintendo themselves made many games that didn't even require motion controls, and even some of the games that they made had annoying and unnecessary utilizations of the motion controls. And the final nail in the coffin: shovelware. The Wii was overflowing with garbage shovelware titles, to the extent where I can't even say the Wii had a good library of games with a straight face. Garbage after garbage after garbage you'll find.
I think I figured out what my favorite video game console is. Been thinking about it for a while.
Oh, really? What is your favorite console then?
The Wii.
Oh, that's not a bad choice. Why is that though?
The amazing library of games.
Yeah, not great.
Now, while the Wii had all these downsides, that doesn't erase all the amazing qualities in games that I mentioned earlier. And I think that despite all these annoying and straight up bad qualities that the Wii had, all those good things really made up for it. I mean, you get a full GameCube, mostly, in your Wii. That alone is enough to make it a legendary console. And on top of all those other things, I think it's safe to say that the Wii is not overrated. So many people just forget what the Wii had to offer and are too distracted by its popularity and its gimmicks to really give it a proper shot. I think it is properly rated. But hey, what do I know? I won the world's biggest dumbass award. No, this isn't the award. I lost it because I'm a dumbass.